Hello and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of GetOiling, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, really glad you're here again today.
We are, and we're thrilled as always to have Julie and Colin here with us today. Hi, guys.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing, everyone?
So today we have a lot of exciting stuff to share, starting with a really cool update for the back end of your Get Oiling system. I'll show you that in just a minute. But for those of you who are unaware and you're just joining us because it's noon on a Thursday and this is what you do, welcome. I hope that that's a habit that you have or one that you will build. We are going to be talking about planning your summer content. So all of the things that you need to show up for your brand. This is for your website. This is for your socials. It's your events. It's everything. It's the getting yourself out there of your business. And we're going to talk about how you can plan a month or even an entire quarter in an hour or an afternoon. But before we get into that, I want to welcome you guys. We are live here every Thursday at noon US Eastern Time, unless it's a holiday or convention. And here is a great opportunity for you, if you're a brand partner, to learn how to grow your young living business by working smarter. And of course, we show you how to do that with Get Oiling. Speaking of Get Oiling, we have a really cool feature update that's been requested a few times. I'm going to go and show you guys here really quick. It's super exciting. You can actually come right over here to your menu when you're logged in, and you can go to toggle dark mode. So if you need a little help, you got a little strain on your eyes, maybe you've got a dark mode preference, you can now use your Get Oiling system in dark mode. You can do this with the website here logged into a browser. It also works on your app. Really important to note, this is not dark mode for your published website. This is for you when you're logging in to Get Oiling, when you're planning out your emails, you are sending texts, you're going and editing things, right? All of the stuff that you're doing to manage your business, you can do now in dark mode, and you can toggle that on and off from the menu up here at the top. Pretty cool, right? Everybody collective. Thank you, Greg, for pulling off something super cool once again, as he does. You guys head over into the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from. Our team is going to pop out a video here as we get into today's slides and content, and we will come back to join you on video at the close of the call. Again, welcome. We're so excited to have you. Let's get into this workshop where we are going to learn about summer themes, how we can plan, publish, and grow with this seasonal strategy to get our content out there, get the leads coming in so that you can grow the young living business you want on your terms. So today we're going to talk about how content can be something that can help you grow, and specifically if you plan your content around a seasonal theme, how this is going to help you to get more of what you want in your business. We'll show you how to create and execute that plan here and what that looks like. Essentially, we're going to talk about how to create an event, a live one, whether that be in person or virtual, either of which you can offer with Get Oiling. We're going to talk about releasing content via your blog on Get Oiling, why that's important. We'll talk about the emails that you'll want to send out to your following, and of course, the social media content that you'll need to ultimately push out to get people engaged and to grow your audience. And as always, we do have live help and Q&A. If you are here looking for help, let us know. Head over into the Q&A. Let us know that you're here. The chat can get a little busy. And we are really looking forward to helping you. And if you have questions, whether they have to do with today's subject matter or not, you've got experts here on the call ready to take your questions and to help you out with whatever you have, right? If you would like to join us, if you're watching this as a replay, you can come and join us on Thursdays at noon US Eastern Time. GetOiling.com/weekly work session is where you're going to want to go to sign up for these calls, be the first to receive the resources that we send out, like the checklist we sent you guys today. If you'd like to work together on a call, you can reserve time. GetOiling.com/website review. This is an opportunity to work on anything together in the second half of these Thursday calls. So whether you're just getting started, you want a strategy, you are building your website, or you want help hands-on, whatever that looks like, take advantage of this. It's totally free to you as a Get Oiling community member. And we do these in the second half of these live Thursday calls. If you'd like to hand off your ideas, your wish list entirely to someone else to just do it for you, we've got you covered there too. We've got folks on our team who are incredible strategists, designers who can execute these things for you at a high professional caliber. Highly recommend that you check them out and hire them for your next project. And let's get into it. Okay. So if this is a little confusing, don't worry. I'm going to come back to this so that you can see how it all ties in together. But I want to make sure that we're super clear here at the outset what content is and what it does for your business. A lot of us engage in the creation of content, especially social content, because we feel we have to, but we're doing it without a strategy. So I want you to see the difference between these different pieces of content here in this diagram and think of them in relation to this goal, which is to get ourselves out there, which gets attention. We want that attention for the right people to garner some curiosity. And we want those curious people to have a place to go to get a little bit more information so that they could get more curious, grow interested, and have that interest ultimately turn into conversion, which here means that they become a qualified lead. That means that they sign up for an event that you're offering, or they get onto a one-on-one consult with you, or you get into the DMs with them, or however that looks like for you. This ultimately, these things will lead toward people becoming new customers, right? We want to find people who know that they want change and that you are someone who's qualified to help them get it, right? Say that again. We want people and we want to find and attract them who know that they need change and they know that you are someone who is qualified to help them see that change, get that result, right? That's our goal in doing all of this, is to put ourselves out there in such a way that people recognize us as being someone who could help them. And for those people who know that they need help, that they could come to us, they can get it, and we can go on from there. And of course, what does help look like? That is ultimately connecting them with Young Living product, right? Our job as brand partners is not to be a Young Living billboard, but to be a connector, right? Through conversation, connecting people to product that changes their life. Through that life change, they want to go change others' lives as well. And that's how this all works, right? So remember that what we're doing here, all of this is not product education. These are not social posts about products. These are not blog posts about products or emails about products. These are not gift with purchase use cases. None of this is product promotional. Okay. This is not about product education. This is about showing up on topic, speaking about what those people who are looking for change actually care about. And they don't care about Young Living yet. That's our job. Our job is to get a conversation started where we can position Young Living as something that could help them, and then they care about Young Living, right? So we don't lead with Young Living. So we lead with things that matter to them so that we can build trust toward actually introducing these folks to the products that will change their lives. Is that making sense? Give me a yes in the chat. Let me know this is making sense to you, right? This is not about product education. It is about leading conversations that will lead to private conversations where you show someone how Young Living is the answer, right? So this means that instead of talking about energy, instead of talking about Ningxia, you're talking about energy, right? So you're going to show up and talk about how you can feel more energized in the morning without coffee. And we are not going to necessarily just say, I'm going to talk about Ningxia today, right? We're going to talk about energy today because that's what they care about. We're going to talk about staying balanced as we age with grace instead of just talking about Pro Plus and what's in it. We're going to talk about non-toxic living instead of opening with, let me tell you all about thieves today, right? Is that making sense? Pop your hand up. Let me know that that makes sense to you. So listen, I want to give you a caveat here before we get into this. You aren't barred from ever dropping mention of Young Living and Young Living products. You absolutely can mention at some point Young Living and Young Living products, but listen, the people who aren't already in love with Young Living will absolutely tune you out, and this will all be for nothing if all you talk about is Young Living, right? Because if somebody shows up to your social profile, for instance, or your blog or your website, and literally all they see is Young Living, Young Living, Young Living, they don't see what's in it for them, right? And they turn away and they do something else in a split second, right? So the goal here is to provide space for people who are looking for change to see that you are someone who it can help them achieve it. And that opens the conversations that allows us to let Young Living in, right? So products can come up in context, but they should never be the focus. Okay. When we get this in place, if you are following a system like this faithfully, you will grow a solid and targeted following of qualified leads on social media. You'll have an engaged email list who loves to hear from you and open the emails that you send. You'll get free organic traffic, meaning you don't have to pay for ads. People just show up because the search engines recommend you to people who search for things. You'll get free organic traffic to your website for the long term and have more substantive, more serious conversations with leads who are ready to make real change, to go ahead and place that 300 PV order and to max that out every month because they know they're getting exactly what they need and integrating these products into their life and making significant change, the kind of change that gets them excited to go out and talk about Young Living. This will allow you to enroll more customers who stick around long term, the best kind of customers that ultimately get so excited about product that they want to become brand partners as well. Who doesn't want that, right? All right, so let's talk about how we can get this started. Now, I do have a checklist for you. This went out to you via email. You'll find this on the blog post that we released today as well. This is very similar to what we did back in the spring, our plan, publish, and grow checklist. And this is centered around our Trello board training, which I'll show you guys here in just a bit. All of these are resources that are free to you that you can access if you are catching up on this strategy. But let's just get into the high level, what we need to do to get this done. We have to begin with picking a theme, right? This is going to make our list easy to build of what we need to do. Themes will make this conceptually easy and simple for you, right? So seasonal content is a powerful move because it is resonant with what your people are listening for, right? So if we think about right now, how it is spring in the Northern Hemisphere. The trees are green here in New York City for me here today. They're beautiful and vibrant. There's also pollen coming in through the open windows. What does that mean? Maybe we need to have conversations about inflammation and things that happen during this season and ways that we can protect ourselves, right? So that's something that we would have thought about back in, say, February when we were planning our spring themes. Right now, we're going to be thinking about our summer themes and what people are going to be thinking about, open to talking about during the summer, right? So this provides a natural way for you to connect and engage in the moment with things that are currently relevant to the people that you want to be connecting with. And planning in advance is key. The reason why most of us don't do content is because content feels difficult. Because I have to sit down and think about an idea, and then I've got to come up with what to say, come up with a graphic, and do all of these things. And if you're doing that in the moment when you know you need it done, it is 100 times harder than simply planning in advance and getting these things together to release when you need them, right? Which is what I'm going to show you how to do here today. This is going to keep you consistent and organized and help you to avoid any of that last minute stress that really none of us need, right? We all need the benefits that having content can do for our business, but we don't want to have the stress that comes with it. And if you follow this system, you will not have the stress that comes with it because you will have planned in advance and you'll have everything that you need. So our first step is to choose our theme for the month. So you can use Write with AI and GetOiling if you need some inspiration. I'll give you some ideas here though, because we are planning for summer, maybe summer on the go. This is of course the season that people are traveling, out doing activities, getting out in the world, right? Sunshine and self-care, healthy habits for busy summers, outdoor wellness essentials, summer reset, mind, body, and home, right? Here's just a few ideas. Obviously, you want to go with what feels most natural to you. If you know your people, then you can, of course, provide them with something that's maybe tailored better to the kind of conversations you're already having. Now, remember, we are talking about a season here. I'm not just telling you in May how to plan for June. I actually am encouraging you here to think about the entire summer because summer in particular is a very busy time of year for a lot of us. Not sure how many of you guys we'll see at convention, but you know, it's a time that we travel for multiple reasons, right? And it's very easy to allow the important things in our business to fall by the wayside, right? So do make sure that you are thinking ahead here. So plan multiple months at once for this. Then we want to choose a monthly live event. Now, if we go back to the here, I'm going to go back in my slides here to the this little guy here. Sorry, bear with me just a second. I want to go back and show you this diagram again, just to really bring the importance back to what we're focusing on. We want to first create a live event. right? At least once per month, we need a live event that we're promoting to because this is one of the core things that we can be talking about, right? Instead of promoting a sale on your social, where the majority of people, I hope, are not introduced to Young Living yet, we want to promote an opportunity that they might be more interested in so that we have an opportunity to discuss with them the benefits of those products that we're promoting, right? So the first thing that we need to do is get clear on what our event will be. Now, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you create your events in GetOiling. And let me get back down here to my current slide. All right. So I want you to create an event and GetOiling, and it needs to be something that is relevant to your ideal person, the person you would like to talk to about Young Living today, right? So events are important because they provide a focal point for your content, like I just showed you, and they engage your audience in real time. It gives you a right now reason to be showing up and talking about scarcity of time because it's running out, time for you to register, right? Or something that is of the moment, right? This is happening this Friday. Come take advantage. These are things that are difficult to manufacture. These circumstances, right, that cause people to act, right? So immediacy, scarcity, they can feel very contrived. But if you have an actual live event, you can take advantage of these things that actually cause people to go ahead and say yes, right, when they might otherwise put something off. So an example for summer on the go, I'm going to go with that for the examples throughout here. Some example events for summer on the go could be wellness on the go, simple swaps for summer travel and outdoor fun, family essentials for summer, natural support for calm energy and sleep, wellness on the road, wellness habits that travel with you. And then, of course, you pick your topic, your title, your date, and you can use Write with AI and Get Oiling to actually get all of this figured out. So I am actually going to go and show you an example of how we can set this up in Get Oiling. So this is our very first step is to choose what our event is going to be and then go set it up. All right. So in Get Oiling, you're going to come over here to your left-hand bar menu and you're going to go to events under Zoom and events. Now, if you don't have the copy for your event yet, you can use Write with AI while you're in here. I highly recommend going ahead and figuring this out ahead of time, especially if you're planning for the quarter. Go ahead and sit down and come up with the topics for all four of your weekly live events. Now, these can be in person. You also can offer these via Zoom in Get Oiling. And that's actually what I'm going to show you how to do here today. So what I'm actually going to do first, because I know I'm going to do this virtually, is I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have a recurring Zoom meeting set up. So I actually already have a weekly Wednesday workshop set up here, which is what I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and copy this get link here so I can use it. But just so you know, you can come right here and go to schedule meeting. And maybe I have a Wellness Fridays, and that's a recurring meeting. And I mute participants upon entry because it's a group call. Maybe people don't remember to mute themselves if they're in a loud environment. So I turn that on. I'm going to enable the waiting room. That's a personal preference. You don't have to do this. And then I can go create the meeting. Once that is created, you can grab the link, and we're actually going to use that for when we go and get people registered for our event. All right. So you've got that here. I'm going to go back to my meetings, and you can see that it's now here in the list. Here's my Wellness Fridays. You can click Get Link to get that. All right. So because again, I'm going to be offering virtual meetings once a week, I am going to use Zoom for this. So I'm going to come over here to events now that I have that set up, and I'm going to go add. And I am going to come up with my event. So this first one is going to be Wellness on the Go, simple swaps for summer travel and outdoor fun. I'm going to pop that name in right there. I have it in a document over on the side. Um, if I Let's see, I'm also going to, and I did this ahead of time, just so you know, which I recommend that you do as well. I'm going to copy this here. All right, so traveling this summer, don't let your wellness routine fall apart on the road. Join me to learn simple natural swaps to keep you energized, calm, and feeling like yourself wherever life takes you. And I'm going to just pop the date. Actually, I don't even need to do any of this here because Good Oiling does this for me. So I'm going to keep this copy here. The date, these are my Wellness Wednesdays, and this is going to be the first one in June. So that's going to be the 4th of June. And that's, I'm going to put in my time. That's going to be 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I'm Eastern time. You can include maximum attendees, but for something like this, I would keep this open because this really is going to be an opportunity for as many people as possible as leads to come and join and be a part of this, right? So after registration, you can stay on the events page. You could go to another page. This is totally up to you, however you want to set this up. But we do want to go ahead and create a campaign for this. So I'm going to go here to campaigns because I want to remind people to join. And let me actually come over here. It's opened up a new tab for me. I'm going to go to the campaigns menu, add a new one. And this is going to be Wellness Wednesday. And the title of the event is Wellness on the Go. Going to copy that from my other screen and pop that in. All right. And I'm actually going to put the date in here for 6/4. Um, Actually, I need to change those out. This is the one that they'll see. And this is Wellness Wednesday, 6/4/25, right? This is what you see. This is what they see. And that's important, right? I'm going to go ahead and grab this title again because I'm going to use it in the first email that I send out. There we go. I'm going to add a message, the day zero message. And again, you're going to find all of this in your checklist. And I'm going to say here, you're in. All right. And here we'll reiterate the date and time. And so that is Wednesday, June. What day was that again? Here, let me grab my calendar real quick. All right. That's the 4th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll send a Zoom link your way an hour before we get started. And then we can ask them to respond if they have questions, right? You can do a lot more with this. I'm doing the bare minimum. I would encourage you to engage them, right? So you want to have a dialogue here. So this goes out immediately. That's day zero. I'm going to add another message here. This is going to be day one, and we'll do this the day before. So here I'm going to say reminder is tomorrow. And again, we'll say, let's see, we're going to put in Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll put in the link here. Now, I don't have that saved currently where I can grab it, but let me show you where you can go get it. Just like I did before, if you go over to your Zoom meetings, I'm just going to open that in a new tab. I'm going to grab that weekly Wednesday workshop link by clicking Get Link and come right back over here. Click here to join the live call. And I'm going to hyperlink this by clicking here and pasting that link, maybe having it open in a new tab. And then I'll let my built-in signature sign that off for me. And because this is going to be very, very similar to the one that I'll send out right before, I'm going to duplicate this. And here I'll say live at 7 p.m. today. Put in the time zone. There we go. There we go. All right, so I have this all set up and I need to adjust the dates and the send times, and then we will be good to go on this campaign to get our events set up. Now, again, you can work in batches, right? So you're going to want to do all of these events, setting up one campaign per event, and you could even duplicate this campaign and change its details and its dates to have this be something that you reuse over and over again, right? It's a really simple thing to do. So I'm going to send this out at maybe at 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is going to be 5 p.m. Central, right? So there we go. That's going to go out at 5 p.m. Central on day two. And now I need to give this campaign a date. I'm going to be sending this out the day before we go live. So our day one actually needs to be on the second because we need the reminder to go out on the third. And then the fourth is the day of the call. Cool. All right. So with that, we have our campaign done. I'm going to go ahead and click add event because I don't want to refresh this page and then go back in to edit it so that I can apply this campaign. Wellness Wednesday. There it is. And then here again, you could keep them going back to the events page, or you can send them to a confirmation page or something similar. Great idea also to create a featured image for this if you'd like. And again, that's something you can do in Canva. If you're going ahead and creating 4 events for your month, it's much faster to create 4 images in Canva at once than to do it one at a time in the context of all of this, right? So either way, we've got this event done. This is one of the core pieces that we need done for this monthly content strategy. All right, so that's our monthly live event. So we've set that up, right? We've created our Zoom meeting, a date-based campaign that has everything that we need here. And again, this is all on your checklist. We've got our campaign attached, and then we can share that event all month long, right? That's what we are going to be moving toward, right? Or all week, depending on how you're setting this up. Now, the next thing we need to do is plan our blog posts. Now, I'm not going to show you all 4 blog posts, but I am going to show you how we can use our Trello board to capture all of our information to get this done. But first, let's talk a little bit about this because I know that for a lot of us, we have resistance to the idea of publishing, creating long form content, right? Why can't I just be on social media? So, blog posts are really important because they provide valuable evergreen content for you to be able to educate your audience, right? And they attract new leads and keep your existing audience engaged. What if you showed up tomorrow on social media and there was a conversation taking place about a topic that you published a 1,000-word blog post on 6 months ago? How much more credible do you look giving your opinion or providing a published piece of content that you created a while back, right? And what if that published piece of content that you created 6 months ago is something that's bringing people to your website who are signing up to get updates from you, right? Having published content sets you apart from everyone else on the internet that has an opinion, right? This shows that you are serious, that you are doing the work. And what we want is for people to look at you seriously, right? So let's talk about some ideas for blog posts. And guys, with Write with AI and GetOiling, this becomes so crazy simple and easy to do. So some are on the go blog post ideas. We want 5 travel essentials for natural wellness on the go, or how to stay energized, calm, and clear while you're out and about. Must have summer products for your bag, car, and suitcase, or quick habits that keep you consistent even on vacation. Note that none of these posts say anything about Young Living or mention Young Living products, right? But all of these are subject matter that can incorporate product, or maybe more importantly, can induce conversations with people who could be introduced to product by you, right? Okay, so let's go over to our Trello board and start talking about how we can block out this content plan. Now, actually, before I do this, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about when I show you a Trello board, I want to show you a playlist that if you weren't here for the live calls, if you go to our live training and replays under the Success Academy, click View by Topic, and it's the very first one you'll see. It's called Content Planning Systems. This training that you're on right now is going to come live here. You can see that actually our spring workshop was here as well. These first 3, and you only really need to watch the first 30 minutes or so of these trainings. These first 3 are going to show you a complete system and give you access to your very own Trello board for free that you can use with a free Trello plan. I personally use Trello to plan out months of content many months in advance for both of our platforms. It saves tons of time. It's Honestly, it's my favorite tool to use for this purpose. It allows you to very quickly and easily move ideas into where they belong so that they're organized and you don't have to feel rushed, right? You can plan ahead very simply in an organized way. And then it's a matter of just copying and pasting stuff into GetOiling, right? Really simple and easy to do. So you're going to find that in these first three. And again, the second half of these calls are Q&A. So these are not hour-long trainings apiece. Just want to make sure that we're super clear on that. All right, back to our workshop here. So we're getting into Trello. Now, Trello, if you start with the first training that I provided, I talk about how you can use a Trello board as a swipe file, basically a place to store your ideas, right, for your content. So if you have an idea for a social post or a thing that you want to do, you can actually go and create yourself a card, right? So maybe I want to make a social media post uh, to promote Simple Swaps, the June 4th live event. I need to do that. So I'm just going to pop that in there. It doesn't have a cute title, but it is a social media post. Let me see if I have other labels here. Maybe I have an event label. Ooh, I don't. I should do that. So I'm going to create an event label. There we go. Beautiful. So here I can put in the details of my event. So I'm going to copy from my other document that I have open and paste in the event title. Maybe post the subject, the content for it, right? So you've got checklists here. And again, I get into that in the training. So I can go ahead and pop that in there. I know that's a social post that I want to do, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because we need to get into our long form content. So I mentioned that I have some blog posts that I'm going to do. I've got 4 prepared here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a long form content card here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my title. This one is 5 Travel Essentials for Natural Wellness on the Go. There's one. I'm going to create another one. I'm just going to go ahead and do all 4 of them. How to stay energized, calm, and clear when you're out and about. I'm going to say in the summer, right? Because this is a summer topic. Your summer wellness toolkit, what to keep in your bag, car, and suitcase. Let me create another one of those. I'll pop that right in there. And you can go ahead and repeat this. If you're going to do this for a whole season, the entire summer, do this for 12 weeks. Do 12 of these. And it's just as easy to ask Write with AI to come up with 4 of them as it is to ask Write with AI to come up with 12 of them. And then it's just a few more minutes of extra steps to go ahead and get the copy for these posts, right? So here we go. These are the 4 that I know I want to work on for June. And I could go ahead and pop even more of these in here, right? Well, when I'm ready to start working on them, I'm actually going to move them over here to drafts in progress, right? So I'm going to work on this one first. My 5 travel essentials for natural wellness on the go. So I'm actually going to take this topic and I'm going to go over to GetOiling. And I'm going to go into Write with AI. And I'm going to ask it to write a blog post with at least 1,000 words based on this title. I'll paste it in. And then I'm also going to say, do not explicitly feature Young Living products in this post. You can mention 1 max, right? Because we don't want to overdo this. The goal of this post is to grow my list of leads by talking about what's important to them first. Provide a call to action to book a call with me or visit my events page to sign up for an upcoming live class. All right, so I'm going to click write. I'm going to give it a few minutes, and it's going to give me the blog post that I'm asking for. And I'm not going to go immediately and publish this blog post. I'm actually going to take what it gives me and I'm going to go back to the Trello board and put it on that card. And then I'm going to repeat that step for each one of the posts that I'm going to do for that month. Because it's much easier to do this 4 times in a row right here than it is to go here, go there, right? Go to the blog post, remember what you're supposed to do in each place, right? So do this in batches. So I'm going to copy this to the clipboard, head back over to Trello. And I'm going to paste that right in here. Look at that. Ooh, that's nice. Super good. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And maybe I can go ahead and get started with the next one. Because, like I said, I don't want you to go straight over to the blog. So I'm going to copy this. Actually, I'm going to keep that open and I'm going to repeat this. Actually, here, I'm going to keep the same prompt here, but I'm going to I'm going to swap out this title for the other one, right? So I'm asking it to do the same thing. You see how easy this is? Now click write, and we're going to take that, what it gives us, and put it on the Trello board, right? So I'm just swapping out the title of the blog post. Are you seeing how simple this is? All right. So again, once this is done, I want you to do this for all four of your posts for that month, or if you're doing this for the quarter, do this for 12, right? So I'm going to copy that to clipboard, come back over here to Trello, paste that in, and it's there and it's waiting for you, right? The thing about all of this is that there are quite a few steps, but you aren't tied down. If you're using a tool like this, you aren't tied down to absolute completion for every step, right? If you're capturing everything in these Trello cards and keeping them organized on this board, you're going to be good to go, right? So, what I want you to do is get these together, right? Go ahead and have that in place. You do have steps that you can follow, of course, to get you into posting these on your Get Oiling blog. I'm not going to go through all of that for the sake of time here today, but once you've got that blog post, and ideally at least four, if not all 12, right? You're going to want to make sure that you've got emails, right? So every week you are putting out a blog post to your audience. And ideally, you've got folks who are signing up on your website, giving you their email address because they want to hear from you as soon as your next blog post drops, right? So we need to send something out to them. We need to keep our list fed. So we need to plan weekly emails. And they're important because they give consistent communication with your audience. If you think people don't like opening their emails, you're probably not sending enough to the right people. I promise you, there is not a better way to communicate with people long term, to own the list that you build to build your business. People will open emails if you send them things they want to read, and they will be happy to go look for your email when they expect to see it. So you need to make sure that you're consistent and that what you're delivering is valuable, and you will be golden with this, right? And what these allow you to do is to promote both your blog posts and your event. So the structure for your weekly emails is going to be something like this. The first week of the month, you're going to introduce the theme, what that week's blog post is, and invite your audience to the event. And then subsequent weeks, you could promote weekly blog posts and include a reminder about the event. So if you're doing an event once a month instead of once a week, you've got the whole month to promote your live monthly event. If you're doing it weekly, which I highly recommend if you can, then you can maybe be offering that on Fridays and promoting it throughout the week, or maybe you offer it on Mondays and you start promoting those for the next week on Tuesdays or what have you, right? So these are an opportunity for you to get into the inbox of the people who said yes to you at some point, to wanting to hear from you, getting information out that is timely to them. And again, you can use Write with AI in Get Oiling to get this done so easily and simply. So I am going to I'm going to ask Write with AI to write an email to my list of subscribers announcing my new blog post and reminding them about my upcoming event next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Or sorry, Wednesday, June 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to put the blog post title. I'm going to grab that right here. Blog post title and event title, which was Wellness on the Go. Here we go. Wellness on the Go. All right. Right. And it will give me what I need for the email to my list. And just real quick here, going back over to Trello, emails are part of this as well, right? So if it's time to create our email, this is going to be the one that is for the blog post, 5 travel essentials. So I'll pop that in there, plus event promotion. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to be working on that. I'll move that over here, and then I'll come right back over to GetOiling, copy what it's provided to me. Obviously, want to make sure it's correct and I like it. I am moving through the steps really quickly here. Fully expect that you will check AI on its accuracy, but you can just go ahead and pop in exactly. Look at the volume of that. I love it. The bullet points and everything. So you've got an email draft here for you, ready to go, right? And the cool thing about using Write with AI and Get Oiling is that it knows that you're a Young Living brand partner. However, when you are working on this content strategy, it is really important for you sometimes to actually go in and tell Write with AI when you're prompting it to not center Young Living or Young Living products because you are speaking to leads, right? Okay, so the final step is to plan your social content. This is really important. You can't skip this step. It keeps your audience engaged on a daily basis and builds excitement for your blog posts and your event. And so the types of posts you can plan are for your blog. So 1 to 2 posts a week, you're posting about and linking to that blog post that you released. And you can promote your event a couple posts a week, promote the live event that you're doing, whether that's weekly or it's monthly. And then you want to have engagement or value-driven posts once per week at least, right? This is the kind of stuff that just gets people communicating, gets people engaging with you, not in a transactional way, but in a way that they are invested in. All right. Now, to get all of this stuff done, you need systems. And we've created the system for you, including the Trello board that you can start using. Highly recommend. Please, please watch this training right here on creating and using a swipe file. And then I walk you through the entire content creation process right here in this one using the same Trello board. And you go through the planning process first, right? So you notice that the only publishing that I did here today was going over to Get Oiling and making an event. Generally speaking, I'm going to recommend that you plan everything in one go and then you publish everything in one go. And these trainings have complete checklists to walk you through every step you need to follow. They resonate with the one that you've seen here today that goes over what you'll need from your monthly or quarterly planning based on seasonal themes. Right. So please make sure if you have not watched these, you haven't gotten the Trello template that we've provided, please go get that, take advantage of that. It's going to help you so very, very much. And I'm really excited to see if we have any questions or if anyone needs help. So yeah, we're happy to get into that with you here today. So let me know. Allison says, I love this and want to get it, but I feel so lost because I don't get Trello and have a bad habit of just going into the blog and posting. Um, yeah, so it's better that you post content than you don't, right? So if what you're able to do that you feel okay about doing is just going and posting, that's fine. If you are ready to graduate that strategy into working ahead, being strategic about how you're putting your work out there, then you're going to want to start working on this. And Trello is really forgiving. Look, if you go into Trello and you create a card, like let's just say you don't use a template. And I've got templates you can actually see, and I go over this in the training. I've got a template for each type of content, right? Primarily the ones that you're going to be focusing on are your emails, your social media, and your long form content, which is your blog posts. But if you're somebody who's wanting to create YouTube videos, podcasts, this is where long form content is going to live as well, right? So I have a template for you from each of these, and you can actually click to create a template from any of these. And there are checklists on them that tell you exactly what to do with the card. So if you forget what step to follow, so I need to create, like, I have an idea for an email. Somebody sent me an email today, and I really like what they sent me. So I'm actually going to copy the email subject line. So here's the copied subject line from this person, right? So I'm going to create that. And now when I open this up, I can see that this is an email. So when I actually move this over to something that is an idea or something that I'm working on, I know that it's an email because it's got this color code, right? And when I click it, you can see that it says email. So when I come here and I have this idea, here's everything that I need to do. So I need to copy and paste the subject line and body copy from the email into this card so that I know, where it came from, what it talked about, etc. And so I'm going to copy and paste that here. So it's telling you what to do. It's really just a matter, like, it's a matter of just using it, right? fail forward with this. Let it be something that allows you to step into a bigger role in what you do. You can be more prolific, more expansive without necessarily spending a whole lot more time. If you learn to use the tools that can help you get it done, right? So it's kind of the difference between, oh gosh, I don't know, um, building a house with a screwdriver versus a drill, right? This is a drill. And drills can be a little bit intimidating if you've never used one before, especially if it's like an impact driver or something like that. It can be intimidating to use a tool for the first time, but like this is free and exactly zero consequence. So it's definitely worth giving a shot if you can. Cornelia says, I use that Trello board a lot. Awesome. And with a creative squirrel mind, it helps me to keep track. Can it be optimized? Yes, step by step. I'm getting there, keeping consistent. Fantastic. Cornelia says, do you recommend to create two different lists for blog and for the weekly wellness tips? I try to tie it together, but it was a mess. So the weekly wellness tips that we release is really intended to be sort of like an easy baseline, right? So I know you are already someone who is engaging in creating content on a regular basis. If that's something that you're doing and you're creating lead focused content, I would say you don't need the weekly wellness tips that we create. If you have an established brand and there's subject matter that you speak about, I mean, Cornelia, you're a naturopath. Like you have stuff that you can talk about that you're qualified to speak on and a perspective that you have that is going to gain you a lot more credibility, a lot more quickly than using the stuff that I and AI wrote for you. So I would say if you really like them and you want to use them, make that a separate list. And I say that because I know that you know what your brand is and your subject matter. And I think that there's a lot more depth that you can present to attract leads. And that's for you specifically. Generally speaking, you can take the weekly wellness tips that we offer and plug in. So let's just say, for instance, you have the weekly wellness tip email that we send out. Um, what I would do is use the weekly wellness tip as the template for your email, but you're going to change the subject line. You're going to go into Write with AI, give it the body content of that email, and say, here's the tip that I'm sharing this week. My blog post is about this, and my event is this. Give me a subject line that can tie this all together, right? And then you are basically just changing that campaign message up to where you're putting in your event, right? You're linking to your event. You are linking to your blog post. You've got the blurb about your blog post. And then you can just basically use the weekly wellness tip content as a way to supplement your email that goes out on a weekly basis. So you can combine these. Yeah. It's just for some of us, we are in a place with our personal brand, with our website, with our strategy, where what you're doing is more optimal than the done for you stuff that we're making, right? Because what we're doing should be something that anybody, especially somebody who's just gotten started, can use. But if you've been around for a long time, you might want to do your own thing. Yeah, so I'm talking about using the weekly wellness tips campaign that you get on a monthly basis from GetOiling. You can take that campaign and add in some copy about your blog post, add in some copy about your event, and have that go out. Yes. This would require that you have planned ahead sufficiently. This is where your Trello board comes into play, because when you get that campaign from us, how much easier would it be for you to go and edit that email if you had that copy saved right here, right? If you took that copy from, from Write with AI and you put that into, like, you've got this here, you can copy this stuff and put it into that weekly wellness tip campaign email that we gave you. So you have what we've provided for you. It's all linked up. It's ready to go. Add this and the link to your blog post, right? Now, again, this does presuppose that you have that blog post already, right? You've been through this system, you've followed all of this. But yeah, absolutely. We always give you your weekly wellness tip content at least a full week before you would be applying that to your contacts, typically several weeks before you would. So you've got that opportunity. Hey, Karen, I see your hand up. Let me know in the chat if you'd like to come out to discuss something, and I'm happy to bring you out. All right, Allison says I was thinking of using the weekly wellness tips as the template to create the events and the blogs from that. Um, you could, you could do that. Um, I would encourage you to go a little farther afield than that. Like go like I would, hmm, I don't know that would still keep you on like I have to do all of these things every single month. I would really like to see you be able to get all of this stuff out of the way 4 times a year. Honestly, I've shown you kind of, you can get all of this done if you follow these workshops, use the Trello, use AI. You can get the bulk of this stuff done in about an hour, maybe two, if we're working a little bit more slowly, right? For a whole month. If you could dedicate an afternoon 4 times a year, every blog post is written, every email is written, every event is worked out, and you know what all of your social posts are, why wouldn't you do that instead? Right? And you can. And I've done this, right? For several types of content that we have, including our weekly wellness tips series, I've done that through January of 2026, right? That's even more than a quarterly move there, right? Because if you're grouping the things that you're doing together, right? You're getting all of the ideas at once. You're generating all of the blog post copy at once. You're generating all of the email copy at once. You're generating all of the social post copy at once, and you're putting those where they belong in Trello. Then you go back, and now I'm creating a blog post. And then I'm creating a blog post and a blog post and a blog post. I'm creating an email and an email and an email and an email, an event, an event, an event, right? So if we're doing those things together, we work faster, we work more optimally, right? You don't have to go and re-remember how you do that thing on a blog post because you just made a blog post. The best time to do something is right after you did it, right? So this allows you to build that muscle memory and very importantly, to just put all of this stuff that is very important to your business, but not the most important thing in your business, because the most important thing in your business is having conversations with people. You need to be making most of your time available for prospecting and communicating, right? This is the stuff that creates the net underneath everything that you do, right? This is the thing that protects your business and its momentum. This is the thing that secures your following and everything that you're doing to put yourself out there, right? And it's not something that should take up all of your time. So I would recommend that you use what we have as a supplement, right? So the stuff that we've provided for you really is a supplement for you. But if you are someone who is actively engaging and growing your own brand, making blog posts, doing all of these things, the weekly wellness tips could just be redundant for you. And I love that for you if that's where you are, because that's way more effective because you are reaching people on substance for what they are interested in. Okay, let me see. Don't think you're getting the weekly wellness tips from GetOiling. How do I get them? Yeah, so we do talk about them here on the weekly work session. But the best place to go actually is going to be the GetOiling blog, where if you go to let's see, weekly wellness tip content, you can actually see the most recent one is here. We do have the replay on our YouTube channel as well. If you go over here and you check it out, you'll see that there's a walkthrough of how to use it. There's a video of the most recent one. So basically what it is it's a landing page, and then once a month we'll give you a campaign that has a fully coded up series of messages that provides wellness tips, and it will mention product in a helpful way. All right. Is there a blog post that has all the wellness tip info? So yeah, you can find all of those on our blog. Um, let me see. Yep, you schedule all the blog posts and the emails and GetOiling. Yeah, if you want to use a social post planner, you could absolutely use something like that as well. But again, like you don't have to wake up and be like, what do I have to post to social today? Right? Or, it's Monday. What am I blogging about this week? You already know, it's already figured out, and you can just show up in your business and work it, which is conversations, right? It's consults, it's showing up live for the events that you our hosting, right? All of these things that we're talking about are very important for your business, with the content. Very important for your business, but not the most important thing. All right. I didn't see a response here, and I got your hand up, Karen. I don't like if you can hear me, just say I want to talk in the chat and I'll bring you out, and I'm happy to do that. Um, you might have popped your hand up just confirming at some point that you understood what I was saying. And if that's the case, that's totally fine. All right. Do we have any more questions as we move forward here? Excited to um, see what you guys are doing with this. Oh, Allison, yes, absolutely. Once you have all of this planned out, it becomes very easy to do something like post to Pinterest. Pinterest is Pinterest is very good to use if you have a blog, right? And it's even better to use if you are planning ahead of time because you need slightly different graphics that you want to use on Pinterest. And the best way to create images in Canva is to create an image and then another, right? So again, for all of your social post graphics, do that in a single file. For all of your blog post graphics, do that in a single file in Canva. What do I mean? Let me show you. Let me open Canva here real quick. Okay, so I actually have a blog post, a blog featured image here. And I use this as a template. This is something that I've provided. Actually, I think you guys have a link to this in one of the resources that we've provided. But essentially, we could just go in and, make this look the way that you want it to. But then this is week one. This is week two. This is week three. Maybe I'm going to make a variation on this one, and this is week four, right? Swap out the image here for something else, change the colors, change the title, etc. So, this is how you would create your blog post. If you wanted to go and create a pin, let's see, Pinterest, you would type in Pinterest pin. And if you already have these blog post titles, in fact, if you're using Canva Pro, which I highly recommend, you could go to resize these blog posts for Pinterest pins. And here we go. We could use this one here. I have no idea how good this is going to turn out, but we can resize this and see what it looks like. So I'll open that up. Yep. And you see that we're probably going to need to make some changes here, right? So that's totally fine. I can do that, right? I'm going to bring this to the front. Excuse me. Or maybe bring forward, etc. You see where I'm going with this, right? So then you would go in and you have more or less the same image that you're working with. It's going to look like your blog post when they arrive on your blog post, but because you've already got this down, it's easier to do the next thing. So if you're working in batches, your life will be easy. And the Trello board is ultimately how you get that done. So let me know, just like a show of hands, how many of us have started using that Trello board? Are you using that Trello template? Have we maybe claimed it to try to start using it? All you have to do is get a free Trello account. You do not have to pay for anything for this. I made sure that 100% of how I've taught you how to use Trello is doable on their free plan, right? So make sure that you grab that, utilize that to start planning out everything that needs to be said and done. And remember too, there's more ways that you can use this, right? So I've shown you, of course, and you'll learn more in those videos about, sort of how you plan things out, right? So here are the things that I've done in the past that are published. You've got an archive of those. You've got ideas in different places. You've got specific types of posts, right? But you can include things like I'm working on the FAQ section on my website, and I can put an idea for that here. Or if I want to gather my testimonials for something from people who are my customers or clients, I can gather those here. Using a tool like this is going to help you to stop being reactive. When you receive a piece of information that you would like to act on, you don't necessarily need to act on it right now. It needs to go somewhere where you can use it effectively in the future, right? And that's what this is for. If you've got a website idea, create a card with the website idea. Use this template because it's going to give you a checklist for it. And then you're going to give this is going to be a landing page idea. And then on this card, it's going to tell you what to do You're going to copy and paste the copy. You're going to put a link to the page that's there. You're going to add some labels to it so you're clear on what it is. And then when you're ready to use it, you're going to move it and you're going to walk through the checklist, right? No matter what it is that you want to do for your business, as it pertains to showing up, right? So that's your website, it's your social, it's your content. You can plan all of that and capture all of the ideas here so that you can be strategic on how you spend your time to execute those plans, right? You don't have to be on that constant wheel of reactivity when you use a tool like this. All right, let me see the planner. What is it? The irony of expertise, the 10,000 hours earned makes you that. If we had told, let's just say like my mother when I was 13 years old that I was going to be called the planner on a Zoom call in 20 years. Oh, the laughs that she would have at what you just said about me. You become these things because you choose to be, and because they're the growth that you need for yourself and for your business. All right. Jennifer says, I've never used Trello, but I send myself emails with all my ideas for later and then spend ages trying to find them. Yeah. So I actually think, and this might be a paid Trello feature, I think you can email ideas to your Trello boards. Uh, I can't tell you how because I only know how to use it how I use it. And Greg introduced it to me probably a good 5 years before I ever did anything with Trello because I was very resistant to Trello in the first place as well. So understand, these things can take a little while to come around to, but this system in particular is one that I think is worth adopting. If you would like to keep some balance, save your summer, and keep that momentum going to and through convention. So hope to see you guys there, by the way. Grab those tickets and let us know you'll be at Aroma Sharing. Cornelia says there's also a Chrome extension to copy something directly into Trello on Chrome. That's cool. That's cool. I wish Max liked Chrome a little more. I'd use it. All right. Thank you guys for spending this time with us. We'll be back here same time next week where we are going to do some spring cleaning on your GetOiling system. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care.